has been a lot going on in our lives. I can tell you that my life has turned upside down in last 14 months. Between dealing with the impact that the pandemic has had on my family, on my friends, on my co-workers, to preparing for evacuation during California fires last year, and kids being in distance learning, and me taking over a new job, my life has been crazy. And I'm sure yours is too. I have been in this constant state of anxiety, and I've found it hard to calm down and meditate in the last few months. And as such, I noticed that the stress and the anxiety was getting to me, and I was not able to be present in the moment, and my personal life was suffering. So a few months ago, I started practicing this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique to cope up with stress and anxiety. Now, this technique uses 5 senses to focus in the moment and to calm yourself down. I've found it to be very useful, and I wanted to share this with you, my audience, to see if you can benefit from it as well. So here it goes. I start my mornings with this technique. And basically what I do is I usually do it when I wake up in the morning and I'm still in the bed. I start with deep, long breaths, and then I acknowledge 5 things that I can see around myself. For me, it's usually things in my bedroom, like the water bottle on my nightstand or our family picture on our dresser. The family picture always makes me smile, and I'm grateful for what I have in my life. When you do this exercise, you can acknowledge any 5 things that you see either in your office or at home, or if you're walking, then around yourself. When you do this, what you're essentially doing is you are invoking the sense of sight to help you focus in the moment. So the next step then is that I acknowledge 4 things that I can feel around myself. For me, it's usually my pillow, the mattress, my comforter, and other things. I give it a minute to focus on how each of these things feels different on my body. In this step, we are invoking the sense of touch to focus and de-stress. The third step is to acknowledge 3 things that I can hear around myself. So instead of listening to my thoughts, in this step, I focus on external sounds. For me, it's usually the chirping of the birds outside or the sound of the wind or any other things that I can hear in the morning. Now, if you're outside and if you're walking, it can be a dog barking or somebody mowing the lawn. Those can be the sounds that you hear as well. So now that I have activated 3 senses, the sense of sight, the sense of touch, and the sense of hearing, it's time now to activate the next sense, which is the sense of smell. I now acknowledge 2 things around me that I can smell. It can be anything from the aroma of the essential oils in the diffuser on my nightstand, or it can be coffee if my husband is already up and is brewing the coffee. If you are doing this exercise outside, it can be the fragrance of flowers or any other smell. And finally, I acknowledge 1 thing that I can taste. Now, for me, since I do this exercise in the morning, it's usually the taste of coconut oil after my oil pulling. I end this exercise with a long, deep breath and a gratitude affirmation. Now, honestly, I'll tell you, the first time I started doing this technique to de-stress myself, it wasn't easy. I found it get harder with each step, and acknowledging 2 things that I could smell in the morning while I was still in the bed and 1 thing that I could taste, those were the hardest for me. And it took me some time to understand that the goal of this exercise was that it was to help me focus. And when you're anxious and you're stressed, your mind is all over the place. With this exercise, you start focusing on the things and it helps you build your focus. Anxiety can leave us feeling inadequate and takes the focus away. So what this exercise does is, when you're focusing on these 5 senses, it has a calming effect. You start focusing on things and you start de-stressing them. And ending this exercise with gratitude affirmation makes me feel good about myself and grateful for all that I have in my life. Now, I have a free gratitude affirmation Alexa skill. I'll put the link in the comment section below that you can use to practice some gratitude affirmations as well. All you need is an Android or iPhone device that has Amazon app on it, and that's all you need. So I'll put that link in the comment section below. Now, this exercise has helped me start my day on a positive note, especially when I was finding it harder to meditate and to focus my thoughts. And I really needed something to ground myself. I do this in the morning while I'm still in the bed to prevent myself from thinking things that are not good or negative thoughts that can take me in a downward spiral. Now, I hope you find this technique helpful in bringing some calmness in your life and to help you create better focus and be successful. Let me know if you try this technique to calm down and if it helps you.